Me T coming at you with a retreat card today, and I'm so super excited as usual. What was I gonna say? So today's retreat card is, I decided to pull it off camera because that's what I was getting. And so the night, maybe because you guys are in a rush, you know what I'm saying? So here's your card, real quick, real quick. Oh damn, I gotta shut off my reminder. Come on, shut it. Okay. There we go. So you guys might be in a rush, so let's do this quickly, or efficiently. Not, I don't know. With me, it's like either quick or like however it wants to be. So Knight of Cups is. Oh wait, is this? This is Knight of Cups, right? Let me see something real quick. It is the Knight of Cups. Okay, I just want to double check. All right, so Knight of Cups, this is what it looks like. I'm so sorry. Let me just get it together. This is what it says. The amiable knight possesses dreamy ambition and has fond feelings towards you, and his arrival in a reading can predict a new relationship or friends. However, he may not be as action-driven as he first appears, so you could find yourself questioning exactly what he is offering you. Now, this seems to be a person that's going to come in. You won't even kind of like know his motive because you're going to be like questioning it. You're going to be like, okay, so you showed up, you maybe texted me, you maybe said hey, but it's like, where's that hey going, right? So, what else did I get with this? I got something. Dreamy ambition has fond feelings towards you and his arrival. Okay. So, dreamy ambition and fond feelings towards you, this is very interesting. The feeling that I got is that this person is kind of like in the same boat as you are. So, if you're talking about, here's an example, if you're talking about a person who is single, right? There could be two people that are both single, both looking, right? But then one is like, literally, one is, both are looking, but one is willing to approach because both have been waiting so long for their people to show up. Why am I blinking with one eye? Did you see that? Okay, sorry. I was like, why is that happening? Okay, it's like a spasm. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And one eye is like, seems to be a little closer today. It's alright. It's all good. So maybe it just needs more wetness, you know what I'm saying? More moisture. What was I gonna say? So all right, so you have two people, both on the same status of dating, both really are open to love, both have been waiting a long time. And so one person is kind of like, having that another like single person is having their eye on you, I guess that's what I want to say. So so long story short, it's like, just my take on it is, just my feeling is, just move slowly. You may also be very much so attracted to this guy, or you're very flattered that, and it could be guy or girl status, doesn't fucking matter. To me, I feel like it is going to be more of a guy, since it is a Knight of Cups, right? So he's going to be offering you this nice gesture, whatever it is, compliment, basically even this kind of entrance into your life, like this kind of like, I'm going to just show up at your door, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Like, and by door I mean like mind, like, hey, I'm in front of your eyes, here's me, and here's me showing up, thinking that may just be enough to get the ball rolling. But the thing is, you guys might have, this is all, I'm totally getting this, you guys might have history, or have had history where, things went down not as you would have hoped, but not actually so very bad, but it's like they didn't bring to the table what you wanted in the past. So now you're kind of a bit like weary, like, what's going on here? Okay, like, so you're single, I'm single, we're not seeing people and stuff like that. But like, the whole thing is, and I'm glad that I'm on your mind, but you can't just show up at my door without like anything to say, or without anything to offer, or just like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's pointless at that point. So it's like somebody showing up to your door and being like, hey, and then you open the door and you say hey, and then it stops right there because they don't know what else to fucking say. So it's like, you didn't open your own door. I mean, you did open your own door, but like because of them, you opened this door. You cracked it open to be like, "What's up?" You know, you're curious, but it's because of them that this door is now being opened. So it's like they need to come up with something more other than this should be enough that I'm like totally appearing at your door right now. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, this lighting is changing. So I'm like, how do I shift myself towards this lighting? So the whole thing is, it's like, okay, so you can be grateful that they showed up. I'm not saying be an asshole or a bitch ever. I mean, unless you really need to, unless like you're really going through some shit that you haven't handled, and then like naturally just fucking decides to come out. But like what I'm trying to also say is handle your shit, before that ever happens. Um, but honestly, we're all people, and we're all gonna like come to this point where we're just gonna fucking bust into our own natural, like, just wild nature at some point. So this is why, and I'm gonna go into it, this is why I kind of like, have compassion, and I feel for like the shooters, for instance, not trying to make it like light of it, or go into the negative, but it's like there are people out there that are really hurting and that haven't been able to manage their fucking emotions as well as some people have, or as well as some people like to ignore them. Like, there's a whole generation, I feel, that is actually that is older than I am, that literally has been taught. And when I say that, I want to say like maybe two generations above me, which is like my mother and father, who are like in their let's say 60s to 70s, right? So it's like that generation like has kept it all in. They fucking they like literally stack their shit up. They never really, like were emotional at all. And I'm talking about like Europeans, because they're kind of like, it was always something like, just get over it, just get over it. But there's also people here in the States too that are like, get over it, get over it. And it's like, okay, well, what the fuck are you gonna actually get over? There's no fucking bump in the road that I can physically get over. Like, you need, like, this emotional getting overness is something that needs to be of tangibleness to kind of like take the trash out of your system, like I always like to say. So, there has to be something creative that it can kind of go to, so that you can get explosive and you can get like any kind of emotional that you feel like fucking going through, take it out in a creative way, whether it be through dance or through, writing, any type of expression you could. Some people like mechanical work is actually like coming to me. So like if you're an auto mechanic, that's like a creative actually essence of like thinking and shifting and trying to like, like be with something else other than your emotions. But a lot of the time, like, you'll see people, for instance, they'll like go out to their car, like if they're dealing with something, they're gonna go out to their car and they're just gonna like go wash the car, or they're gonna like tinker with the car, or they're gonna like go for a walk, or shit like that. Like, people like do things, either physical, actually it is physical and creative, it's not just creative, but I like to stick to kind of the creative part, because it kind of like, it's like, I feel like it's more freeing, like, unless like you're about to like literally skip down the street to be like, I gotta fucking free myself from these emotions and shit, you know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, yeah, I mean, that's why I like to, because also creativity can be done on a quiet note. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like you can be really loud on a quiet note, which is kind of like how I work. Like sometimes when I'm going through emotional stuff, like I want to be like super fucking yang, like I just want to like express the shit out of everything, but then I have to like go right about it. Like I have to be super inside of myself to actually be so expressive about it, and then I just do it through writing, right? So that's like my therapy. Another therapy is also laughing. Like, if you fucking can just laugh at your problem and just being like, ha, you think you're some fucking crazy shit, like try to be explosive in my world, ain't gonna happen, because I'm not allowing it, because I'll laugh in your face and move the fuck on, right? So that's like also a really good way. And like to go turn to something, laughing, or like, even, it's funny, a friend and I were just talking about like writing jokes, like, because this life is fucking hilarious. Like, it really is, in terms of like how it all kind of, comes together, the connection of it, and just like all that you can like, and like you're thinking one thing, but then like another thing is happening and you're like, yo, like, and then, or like you think you're crazy, right? Like just normally you're agreeing with everybody else around you, like, oh, she's crazy, yeah, I am crazy. But then you would really start to see like some shit that like goes around you, and you're like, no, they're the fucking crazy ones, but I'm okay in just saying that I'm crazy because like I'm actually the normal one, I feel, but I am crazy because I'm like willing to be real about shit. But these people who are not willing to be real about their own shit are super fucking crazy because they don't want to deal with their own shit. Like they just want to like let it be, which is fine too. But at the same time, when you let it be, you're going to take it out in a different way, whether it be a bad habit, whether you're going to be, you know, like fucking yelling at somebody later on, like because you got road rage. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so funny how like we are taught one thing, which is the total opposite of what we should be. But then it's also like, you just seem really crazy if like you're the one that's like, you know, like bringing to light all this fucking crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. So anyhow, let me just go into what the actual book says. And it says it indicates a decisional and quick way to interact in relationships, sudden achievements, love at first sight, and great talent in building friendship or sentimental relations. As a significator, which I have no fucking idea what that means because I haven't read this book yet, but it says it represents a person who can easily gain the confidence of people. Maybe also why you should be a little weary of this person, because if they have this charm that like everybody likes them, sometimes these people who are maybe thinking about you, they're interested in you, they can literally they literally expect that you're going to have the same reaction towards them as other people do. So they can't go wrong just by showing up and saying, hey, I've arrived. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of like, again, you're a human being, so you have to kind of just think about it, be discerning, being like, okay, any human being can show up right here, right now, but I'd have the same fucking question. What are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so that's the whole thing. It's like, you have to be a little discerning, which is street smarts, which is also a common, you know, it should be a common theme throughout all of humanity, right? Hopefully that made sense too. Okay, so it says he is the successful person, the passionate lover, and the unexpected friend. It also indicates poetry, elegance, and the Venetian attitude in general, which is romantical. Romantic. It's so beautiful. Blonde hair and blue eyes is what they're saying that this person is going to look like. Now, I would love to know, like, if these people actually end up, like, coming about, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, like, are these people, like, you know, the actual thing? Like, I don't know, you know? So this is a really good card. I like it in a sense also because this indicates very much so, I'm feeling, that it doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be somebody that literally wants to work with you. So it could be, like, a passionate partner, not in, like, a spiritual partner, like a romantic spiritual partner, but it could be a spiritual partner in a sense that wants to work with you. Like there's something that will develop here in terms of business wise, right? Or the business element of things. Is there anything else that I have to, okay, there's nothing else I have to say. So enjoy this person, be smart about it, also be open. And one last thing I want to say is, also be discerning with your past. Like sometimes your past is supposed to be left in your past, you know? And it's a good thing to actually have it be left in the past, like just leave it there. Not to say that you're gonna forget it, but leave it there in a forgiveness of sorts. And then when a person from the past approaches you, give them the decency to start off with a blank slate, okay? And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying that I'm like, listen, I came from an aspect of, I never gave second chances. I was like, listen, you had your time with me, you didn't respect it, that's your problem, you know what I'm saying? But then after a while, I started seeing, I was like, you know what? People actually don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really don't. They're not as mindful as I am, for instance. You know what I'm saying? So I can't expect that. And I'm going to have to let people grow, because as you're growing, you don't know what you know, and you don't know what other people know and have learned, because I always say they don't have the same parents as you, they don't have the same surroundings as you. Everybody has a different life. So, you have to, it's normal to give a second chance, but don't be stupid about giving your second chances as if, like, for instance, if this person thinks that it's okay, and I'm going to go here, if it's okay that they think that they're going to beat the shit out of you and then come back around, that's a powerful first motherfucking chance that he fucking ruined. Do you know what I'm saying? And if he says he changed, I would definitely need some time to fucking think about that. And I would be like, you know what? This is not like, because your heart is hurt. Like, I actually feel like when I said that, I was like, yeah, somebody's heart is hurting out there. Maybe that's why I said it, because maybe this person's going to try to walk back in as if nothing happened. And it's like, bro, you cannot even expect that you're going to show up at somebody's door like that, in terms of the mind's door, and think that everything's okay, and that you've all of a sudden outgrown the aspect of you think it's okay to beat people. Like, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there are different levels, there are different things that I'm saying forgive them, because they didn't know better. They don't know how to take out their emotions on something else, so they took it out on you. That's okay to forgive, but you're not going to be dumb enough to forget that shit and how it felt, and you're going to also grow from that too, and you're going to say, hey, I don't deserve that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So when this person shows up thinking that they can have something more intimate with you, it's like, that really truly was ruined. I mean, you can't deny all of those emotions that they put you through, and you can't forget those things. So that to me is a tougher slate to start off with, like a clear slate. So I get when I say, like, like, have them, come off with a, like, give them the clear slate when they show up. But at the same time, I also did want to say that, if something not that intense, put it that way, happened, and maybe, I don't know, I haven't come to that enlightenment yet to actually forgive somebody who could do that, such a fucking, like, bizarrely, like, just totally unconscious, like, as if we're in a fucking boxing rink together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I can, maybe I can forgive it out of the compassion for the person, but that situation that happened with you involved, that maybe you didn't actually know, you just showed up, and then all of a sudden you got, cracked at, like, that would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? That would be crazy to kind of, like, go back into any type of partnership with that person, because you've seen that crazy side to him, which isn't, we all have crazy sides, but that's extreme. That extremism, like, you no longer, like, I really think, honestly speaking, there are different levels of extremism when it comes to different things, and it's not fucking, it's, some things are absolute fucking no, and you have to know where your line is drawn at that no, and you cannot come back to this door, and you cannot do this anymore, and we're gonna have to stop doing this shit, because it's a game to you and it's real to me, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But if it's somebody who fucked up, right, and even the person who beat the shit out of you, right, for instance, shows up at your door, it does take courage. I mean, some people are just very fucking selfish, so that's why they think that they can show up and be, like, all, like they said, charming. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, everybody deserves to start off on a clean slate, because at the end of the day, when you're starting off at basics, it takes courage for a person to come at you again, to say, maybe let's start something up again. Maybe let's try this out. Hey, I like you. Like, all the shit, like, that maybe they suppressed, and, they deserve that, that clean slate to begin with. And then, like, I actually read, I just read it last night, and I loved it. And it said, no decision should be made, or, so there was a quote where some person had said, I never make any decisions without writing about it first. And it's like, legit, that is so fucking clutch, because it's like, there is so much, even as a writer, like, I express myself through writing, So, duh, writer, got it. I'm sure you all get that. But like even with that, for instance, it's like I understand that so much because when I write, there's so much shit that comes out of me that I never even thought would come out. And that is your your innards, yeah, your insides. That is your insides coming up and telling you the truth of the matter. Like, yeah, like, excuse me, like your mind might be saying, "Oh yeah, I'm totally gung ho to hang out with this person again," but maybe your heart's being like, "Yo, remember when he hurt you?" Like that's kind of So there's that kind of subtle confusion. Your writing is the clarity. Your expression is the clarity. And I'm not saying talk it out because a lot of the time you want to avoid talking this stuff out with your friends because of the fact, like, you really want to have a conversation with like your creator. That's is what I'm trying to say, because sometimes your friends are people too, your family are people too, and they're all gonna have an opinion and they're gonna get you even fucking more confused. So your individuality lies within you, and your own fucking choices lies within you. So you need to get it's better to get yourself straightened out through your sense of creativity or a physical walk or getting physical or something, like, and not physical with that person because you're trying to make fucking decisions about that person. All right, so just like don't jump into it right away. But I'm saying, and also not because that's actually a true thing. Like when people say don't jump into it right away, like don't, because you have time and you have to discern. Sometimes you need to step back a little bit to discern so that you can see where you stand with everything. And then if like you're not like, sometimes this is what I like to do. I like to write about my stuff and I'm like, okay, I come to a decision on my own. But then sometimes I'm like, okay, I like just need a confirmation. And I either usually ask the universe for confirmation or I just ask a person that, just like the next person that comes along, like, my mother, my father, like, and I keep it neutral. I'm like, let's say this person comes back and whatever, hypothetically speaking, all this shit happens. And so I'm like, what would you do? And so, so sometimes there's like a validation. Sometimes you could even learn more from your clarity and your thinking if you're actually willing to expand on it a little bit more through other people's opinions. But don't do the reverse where it's like ask people's opinions and then go do your writing, because it's like then you have a lot of shit that you have to, even more shit that you have to kind of like, go through. But it's also really good, like either which way, like nothing's perfect, right? So like either which way, you should be making like a pros and cons list, like, and go with, the pros, and go with, sometimes also I want to say the pros and the cons could be even, right? Or one less than the other, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I'm like trying to like keep it clean, but like the whole thing is sometimes you value just one thing more over than all these other things. Believing, and when I say believing, I'm not saying like, I don't even know who Pollyanna is, but I'm going to use Pollyanna as an example. Not trying to say like, oh, I believe this person's going to change for me if I just like knowing that he has this one trait, or knowing that this person has one trait. It's actually sitting there thinking and believe, like really feeling that if I were to believe in this person, what the fuck could happen? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do they have the potential that if I really truly begin to believe in him, that, or believe in them, or it doesn't fucking matter who it is, that they'll begin to grow on a better level, and that happens too. But that happens with people who are very grounded. I have to just add that in there, because a lot of times people are like, oh, it's kind of like when you, like, I don't even know how to make it short, but I'm going to make it short and sweet. Like when you're, how some people are given this idea about marriage, like marriage is going to be like this amazing thing and da 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 da. And they go into it thinking, okay, so he makes me happy, I make him happy, and then they find out marriage really isn't about that. Marriage is, it takes work, and it's all about, I have to make myself happy and he has to make himself happy, and then we come together in happiness, so people are sideswiped by that fucking idea, and then all of a sudden they're like, we can't do this anymore, you know, like asking for a divorce and all this shit, and it's just like, because, you know, your expectations were different, you had a different idea about it. And how do I want to correlate this to what I was saying before is that, you know, different people's opinions give you different expectations, put it that way. So you have to kind of sift through those opinions as well as your own, giving you double the amount of work if you like, compared to if you were gonna just literally just fucking take a chill pill, sit back, or give yourself some, like, you know, not even 15 minutes tops to write the shit down, right? Like, to basically express yourself, like, here's the fucking facts out of me. Here's the fucking facts out of the situation in the past. Here's the, you know, like, here's what they gave me. So then it's kind of like puzzle piecing it together, but not really. It's just making a list, pros and cons, like what matches up here in terms of, and also what are you feeling? It's okay to like sit back and just like, after you write everything out, just sit there and like meditate on it, like just breathe, you know, and you'll get the right answer. And you just have to trust that the right answer is the way that you need it to be, you know. I also just to double duty up on it, I also ask God, I let him know that I'm putting my ego aside and I'm putting my physical self aside so that he can come in with immediacy, ease, and grace to let me know what the true answer is that is for my highest and best good and most fitting good, right? So I really do that. Like, these are, I mean, listen, I'm not coming up with this out of my asshole. Like, I do, like, whatever I share with you guys, I do, or I hear about, and I'm willing to do, but maybe I haven't yet done. But this I actually, and sometimes I'm creating while I'm talking to you, so that's the beautiful thing. So it's like, you know, if I'm not doing it right away, it sounds really good, because probably one day I will be using that technique, right? Or somebody's going to remind me of it, be like, remember when you said, and I'm like, oh shit, you're damn right. I'm going to use that for myself right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so, you know, so don't be so black and white sometimes, because the gray area could be really fun, you know? But know what your black and white is. Like, know your boundaries, your yes and no. Like, oh, am I going to let somebody do that to me? No. Am I going to like, would I ever act like that towards somebody? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know how you would act in a situation, and those would be your boundaries. And that's how I'm going to end it. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!